Welcome to the Wexford Football League show. We're going live tonight. Should be interesting. We might have a few mishaps, so we'll try our best to get everything spot on. We'll also have a few call-ins as well, talking about the games at the weekend. Well, Nicky, how are you?
I'm not too bad, Aidan. Would you look very nervous there?
I am very, very nervous. I'm sure we'll make a few mistakes. I got pulled up on a few last week, so I'll apologise now for that.
Yeah, Mick Carty down to one definitely wasn't happy with you, but I wouldn't blame him. You get paid to do the research and you made a mistake, so...
Do I get paid, do I? First I heard of that. Look, we're going to start with the Premier. I suppose the most interesting result of the weekend was Ajax getting a great point at home to Gorey Rangers.
Yeah, fantastic result, wasn't it, for Ajax? Defending champions Gorey coming down, playing a big pitch. I thought they would have definitely had too much for Ajax, but talking to a couple of Ajax lads and they dug in, they made it hard for Gorey and they struggled seemingly to make great chances, Gorey, and they snatched a point. Yeah,
I was following the game on the app. I see on the app it looked like Gorey went down to 10 men early in the second half, but according to Ajax Facebook, they drew with Gorey with 11 men. So what happened there?
Yeah, by the sounds of, well, it wasn't by the sound of things. Yeah, I think the referee made a mistake. He booked the player twice, and Gorey took the player off rather than him be sent off. And I think the referee and the other officials only realised it after the game. So look, it'll be interesting to see, but I'm sure Ajax would have had something to say about it if they hadn't have snatched a point. But I doubt Ajax will be too worried about it now, because they won't want it to go to a replay or anything like that. But I'm sure it won't. I'd say the result and all will just stay the same.
Yeah, look, it's a great point for Ajax. It gives them something now to fight. They drew with after a bad result the week before, they drew with the champions, so they'll feel now they can take something from every team. I think Gorey will be looking at it. They'll looked at it from the start of the year, saying that they have to finish ahead of Northend if they want to win the league, but now after 2 games in, they're 4 points behind them already. It's not somewhere they'll want to be or expected to be, I'd say, so early.
Definitely not. And you look at last year, the 20 games, Gorey were at their absolute best. They only brought Northend to a playoff. Gorey will definitely have to change their form in the next couple of weeks, because Northend are getting stronger week in, week out, and if they don't, they'll be like 4 points is too much to be given a lead to Northend. I'm not saying that the league is over now by any stretch of the imagination, but Gorey will definitely have to change their form, and they'll have to start picking up a few wins over the next couple of weeks, because they can't. If you look at it, Shamrock Rovers and Northend this weekend, potentially there could be 7 points clear. You know, I know Gorey would have a game in hand, but it's a big gap to be pulling back, and I think they've struggled a bit.
Yeah, and look, that's not where they want to be, but it's still early in the season. But 4 points is a lot when you're looking at when you're chasing Northend. I don't think all the clubs won't want Northend getting ahead of them all, and they have the chance this weekend. I know you're saying teams will have games in hand, but theoretically they could be 7 points ahead of Gorey, 5 points ahead of Fort Celtic.
Yeah, I know. Look, it in theory it could be. Obviously, there's games in hand, but look, it's very, very early. I'm sure Gorey now maybe drawn with Ajax. It should give him a kick in the hole, and it should make him refocus and get back in and not take any team for granted. I haven't seen Gorey yet this week. I'll probably pick up that game maybe Sunday and see him for myself. But look, they won't want to be chasing a whole lot more. And you have to look at Northend, they're going to be getting stronger week in, week out. Paul Murphy's back in this week. The bench was a hell of a lot stronger. So Denny is getting players back in now as well. So it looks good for Northend. We're only 2 games in. Gorey are playing a little bit of chase up at the minute. Fort Celtic are in with a shout. And the Mine dropping points last week wasn't great for them.
Yeah, the next game then is the game you were at. Disappointing result for Shamrocks after a great start of the season last year under Ken. Or last week I should say, under Ken.
Yeah, I thought Rovers played fairly well for probably an hour, maybe 70 minutes even. There wasn't a massive amount between the two teams, but I definitely thought the Rovers shaded it in possession and maybe chances created. Now Crossabeg did create a couple of chances, but they weren't clear cut. Like Shamrock Rovers had a couple of very good chances. Young Roach in the goal for Crossbeg. He made a brilliant save, as good a save as I've seen in local football for Dapo for a header. He did another really good save. Took a deflection from Eddie Black. So, yeah, they were good chances. There was one chap there who was playing for Rovers. He was on the left wing. He's only a young lad. He's only 17, Dara Harris. He's really one to look out for the future. He was excellent. I thought he done really, really well. Maybe Ken made a little bit of a mistake. He moved him from one wing to the other wing when he was making a sub. And Dara didn't kind of came out of the game a bit. But other than that, I thought Dara was excellent. Killian Murphy was very good. And obviously Ron Devricks and the goalkeeper Roach were very, very good for Crossabeg. And Will McCreevy came on and scored in the 95th, 96th minute, and he blasted it to the roof of the net.
Yeah, in fairness to Will, there's not too many chairmen of clubs can say they come on in the Premier and score the winner in the last minute, so it's a good shout for him.
It surely is, yeah. So I think I'd say Will has something over Joe. He has to bring him on, or Joe's sacked.
Well, he's scoring him a winner in the 90th minute. I think I'll be bringing him on too.
But in fairness, like Will came in and he done a great job. Like he's a big unit. He made it difficult. The ball was a free kick into the box, which I'm sure Shamrock Rovers would be disappointed about that they didn't. The lads had normally clear that out, but bobbled around, and Will was quickest to react, and by just did he celebrate it. So fair play to him. 95th, 96th minute winner. Sure, you'd have to. It's a massive win for Crossabeg.
Massive, yeah. Both teams at full strength, or still players come back into both squads. You know yourself, this time of year.
Yeah, no,
very few are at full strength this time.
Very few. I think Crossabeg had near enough all their key players. Shamrock Rovers were still missing Hopper.
Conor Devitt.
Conor, was missing. Hopper, Dougal, Podge Doyle, Scobie, Shane Cullen, Alan O'Connor. They were missing them. Eddie Black came on at half time, so the Rovers squad should ticking up, but look, they'll need it to ticking up over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, the next game then was a team I seen, Fort Celtic. I wrote them off here 2 weeks ago in the preview that they might struggle, but after looking at them Sunday, I will have to say I think they're definitely in a title race, and looking at the results so far, I'd say they could be the main ones to challenge North End. They were very impressive Sunday. The game was actually, first 40 minutes of the game was very high quality, very high tempo. Two teams absolutely going at mine, probably shaded. Then right before half time, they gave away free kick at edge of the box. For 2 weeks in a row, Ryan Busher scores another free kick, screamer. Second half then was Fort Celtic were happy enough to sit in and see what the mine had got, and mine play was very slow probably in the second half, so we'd be disappointed with that. But Fort Celtic were excellent on the counter. They got their second one, then mine got a dubious penalty, I'd say, to make it 2-1. But it was a good game.
A dubious penalty?
Yeah, it was a harsh penalty. Wouldn't be happy if it was given again me. But now they could have had another one, I think, straight after, which looked more like a penalty, but it might have been just outside the box. But no, it was a very, very good game now, I have to say. You couldn't take your eyes off it, especially the first half. The first 45 minutes until the free kick was exceptional, and two teams were very fit. I have to say that's one thing that stuck out for me.
Yeah.
Well, I was very impressed with Fort Celtic. It's like they knew if they went 1-0 up, they were going to sit in and play on the counter, and then very well coached, knew what they were going to do.
Yeah, in fairness to Chris, he's doing a great job down there the last couple of years. He's after bringing in a lot of young players, hasn't he? And kind of stuck with him, and they're getting to an age. I said it last week about them being a physical side. They're not dirty, but they're just running and match it with pace and power. And they're
not dirty, but they did have, I'm not saying it was a tactic, but any chance they could on John Perry or Ricky Fox, they did leave it in after the ball. And look, at fairness, the referee played advantage every time, but maybe he should have came back an odd time just to warn him. But it was frustrating John and Ricky a little bit now, but they were getting hit hard after the ball. But look, it worked for Fort Celtic. But no, overall I thought it was a very good game. I think the two teams will be up around there, but I have to say I was so super impressed with Fort Celtic. I really was. No.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see now how Sean comes back now and reacts for next week. Well, they have a Leinster Junior Cup game next week, so he can make a raft of changes if he wants. But just to see how they react from that result, because in fairness, it's been all positive coming out of the mine up until Sunday. So it's the first time where there might be a small bit of negativity in and around it, which happens during the season. So it'll be interesting to see how they react to it.
If it had been a bad performance, I'd understand where you're coming from, but it wasn't a bad performance. They probably feel themselves they probably definitely deserve the draw of it. So I think they'd be happy enough with the performance. Not maybe the second half was just a bit slow. A lot of the ball, but a bit slow. Making a lot of change Sunday, I don't know, because they probably have the toughest of the Leinster games this weekend amongst lands from the Combined Counties League, the top division. They're from Athlone. We played them actually a couple of years ago. We bet them 2-1 at home. They're a very good side. So
you're laying down the gauntlet to it, Sean. Now did you bet them 2-1?
And to take Leinster serious. We move on then to our feature game, North End and Bunclody. Have the highlights coming up here now.
Yeah, obviously we had a chance to have a look over the highlights earlier on today. Bunclody, obviously it's a tough place to go down to Hollygrove any time, but from looking at what we seen of it, it definitely looked like North End had the majority of the chances, and they were the better side, and obviously the scoreline kind of stated that as well.
Yeah, looking at the game on the highlights package there, they seem to leave a lot of chances out on the field. Still missing their two talisman, probably in Gary Delaney and Paul Murphy, but two comfortable wins, so it does look ominous for the rest, in fairness.
Yeah, it does. Just looking to see Ben after falling over there in the goal, and in fairness to Ben, he made 5 or 6 great saves. But like the difference between winning a Division 1 game and coming up and playing against a team of North End's calibre, you'll see it here. Just Joe Finn just switched off that split second and bang, it's a goal. You know, you don't. North End have done that to teams for donkey's years now. They punish you the minute you make that small mistake. And you'll see it in the other goals as well. Like, I'm sure Bunclody will be disappointed with some of the defending, some of it, but they're North End are the one team that really punish you. And there's another chance, another good save. Owen Rhodes got a hat-trick. You'll see,
could have had a double hat-trick.
He could have done, yeah, he definitely could have done had it, but a good bit of defending there by North End.
Kieran Pager got the first goal there. He's really settling in straight away from here. He's on the ball again. It looks like it'd be a lively signing from.
Yeah, no, he gives them something that they haven't had, pace, and that is something. Bunclody would obviously be very disappointed with that, like a header to the front post, a free header. Like you should be disappointed. You would definitely be disappointed.
There's no one defending the hole there, the front post.
Yeah, this is a nice strike, nice bit of play. Owen, he's cool, he's collective there in front of goal. And look at it's not great if North End are ripping teams apart at this period of a season. When they're missing players, you can only imagine what they may be like when they do get back numbers. But I don't know if any manager is looking. Maybe the one way to put North End under pressure is putting the ball on top of Jason Maguire. If you look into any of the highlights here now, the Bunclody have to put the ball on top, and Jason's probably one of the best goalkeepers in Wexford, but he definitely didn't dominate. He's 6-yard box this time. He didn't come for any crosses, and you need that for a goalkeeper to be dominating that area. So maybe that might be a way of trying to get a goal or two off of him.
It did look shaky there from the corners, but just looking at Owen's strike there from outside the box, his 3 goals were all different. One header from post from a corner, the other one passing in it, and then that strike from the edge of the box. So he has all the range of finishings, in fairness. He
does, and sure, even if you just look there, he dropped into the number 10 that time and just slid a ball through there. So he has bits about him. Owen, definitely he's an old style number 9. There's not many of them lads around. I'd say probably the last big number 9 would have been John Hudson and Darren Brown, that would have played in the league, and maybe Mikey Grangel or Ross. They're the last big number 9s, and Owen is definitely coming in and filling in that role.
Yeah, it'll be interesting now to see how Bunclody react. As you said, last week did a great result against Ajax, but that was someone that would have played last year in Division 1, so this was their first test against a seasoned Premier team, and they did struggle by.
Well, it looked like they did, and the one thing you will say, maybe they went into it a little bit naive. Maybe that's one of the things that has helped North End at the start of the season. Crossabeg will allow you to play football Bunclody obviously allowed them to play football. Maybe they didn't get up into their faces and put them under pressure and try to turn them in areas. Yeah, that's the one thing that you could be looking at. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll move on to Division 1 then. I think we have one of the John Fanning of Cora Ramblers on the line there. We're going to have a quick chat with him about his game and just how he's going since taking over Cora. Hello, John.
How are you getting on, lads?
How are you, John? You keeping well?
Not too bad.
Hey, John.
So
how are you, Nick?
Your first game of the weekend, you had a 2-2 draw away to Rosslare Rangers. How did the game go from your point of view?
Look, I'm disappointed, really, I suppose, with the result. 2-2, led twice, paid back twice. I have to give Rosslare their credit, like, in fairness. They dug in and paid us back. The first goal we conceded was sloppy enough. The second one, a penalty last kick of the game. I felt we were in control of it for large parts of the game. We probably should have went 2 up. Kind of dubious enough decision from the referee, giving offside there. But look, not going to say the referee or anything. He did a good job. But look, we weren't aggressive enough in the final third. I thought our transition from back to front was slow and not quick enough. It felt like a defeat after the game, if I'm being honest with you, because I thought we should have come out with 3 points. But look, it is what it is. We missed a good few players. I'm not going to start banging that drum. I know there's a lot of people, like clubs around the county, that are missing clubs with GA commitments and all the rest of it. But like the team that we put out on Sunday certainly won't reflect what we have through the season. But we know what we have to come back. We'll take the point. We'll move on. Credit to Rosslare. They stuck in, like I said, penalty last kick of the game practically, and we've no way to go back up the pitch and score. But we didn't deserve the 3 points. We weren't good enough on the day, and even though we did control the game for large spells, just felt that we probably, a draw was probably the fair result, and like I said, give credit to Rosslare.
Yeah, John, just looking at it there, like Rosslare obviously dropped out of the Premier League with yourselves last year, so like they obviously will be a fairly decent side, and going down to Rosslare away, picking up a point in your first game, I suppose it's not, while obviously you want to pick up your 3 points, it's not the worst start in the world to be going down, because that Rosslare can be a tough place to get a result out of down there.
Yeah, look, I suppose there's a point on the board, Nicky. We could have come out there, like we were 1-0 up, they come back, score from a set piece, a corner. They got a corner before I suppose, I think about 10 minutes before the end of the first half, they scored. The corner came in and we didn't defend it properly, and your man stuck it in the back of the net. Their number 6, I can't remember his name, good player, he got the 2 goals on the day. But we went ahead just before the half ended. But like, it's a point on the board, and considering what we were missing and what we have to bring back in, I said to one of the boys on the line with about 20 minutes to go, geez, I'll be delighted to come out here with 3 points, because they were well up for it. And we were just, we weren't up to the standard. I asked the lads to start fast, and we just weren't good enough. Like, and the lads knew themselves, and after the game it was like a defeat, like I said. But look, it's a point on the board. Look, I suppose we'll take it and move on. We know we have to come back, but look, overall for me, I'm disappointed. But like, it is a point on the board. We're off to, like, we started off, and we'll kick on. I know we'll kick on.
Yeah, look, John, it was your first game. It's as you said, a point on the board, 2-2 draw. Look, you probably didn't start a job until late in the summer there. It's your first year with the lads. Look, you're living in Enniscorthy. It's a good bit down to Welton Bridge. What made you take the job or interest in the job?
I suppose they asked me last year to come in. I'd been with the Kennedy Cup lads last summer, and they came to me, I'd say about a week after the Kennedy Cup finished, and I just wasn't ready, and I ended up going to the Ajax for the season. But so I kind of just left it at that. They asked me to come down and coach them last year, but they came to me again this year, and again it was late enough in the summer too. But like I said, I knew they'd come down from the Premier. I'd spoken to a couple of managers who had played against them through the season. I knew what they had in terms of the squad, and I knew that the objective they had was to get back up into the Premier, and I said, right, lovely, we'll have a crack at this and see how we go. So I suppose that was the reason, really, Aidan. It was kind of, go in and get a chance to work with a good squad of players and try and work with a system that I think that they can buy into. Our pre-season has been decent enough, even though it's been short. We played a couple of Premier sides and have done well against them, but we're struggling big time down there for numbers right now. But I suppose, it's what they have down there in terms of the squad and the players, and there's a lot of quality down there. And once we get all the lads in there, we'll be thereabouts, and I've no doubt about that. But we need to get them back and try and kickstart our season. But certainly a lot of quality there, and I would see us up there when we get everyone back up there challenging, and we won't make it easy for any team in their day.
Yeah, John, I know you would have taught some of the lads probably down in Ross and in Wexford, because they're kind of in the middle of both there, but it's probably a job there that it's not a bad job to go into, because you don't really know anybody, there's no agendas there, so it's just a kind of level playing field there for everybody. Like, obviously you have a few of the old stalwarts and Staples, Neil Harney, Garrett McCurtain there that everybody knows about, but I suppose it was not easy, but it was near enough a level playing field for everybody when you went in.
It was. It was actually one I used to teach over in the Good Counsel College in New Ross. I moved to Wexford CBS 4 years ago. But it was one of the lads, John Revel, had contacted me originally. I taught him in the Good Counsel. I suppose I would have spoken to a couple of the clubs in the town before I went or made the decision to move down. But I kind of felt, if I got out of the town, it's something different. You're kind of going in with no agendas. Like, not that you should have an agenda going in anyway, but,
no.
It's kind of went in, and like you said, Nicky, a level playing field, but there's quality down there. Like, young Shane Carr is in the goal there for us. He's in the CBS, the Wexford CBS. He's quality. He played for us last Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Made a really good save, actually, at 1-1. And they should have probably went 2-1 up, but I'd know Shane. Shane won the All-Ireland schools with us last year. He was the sole keeper. He played in the All-Ireland final. He came on last year when our keeper was sent off. But, it was kind of going in, no hidden agendas. I set out the objectives. We spoke about it as a group. The players all came in. We spoke as a group of kind of what we want to achieve for the season. To be honest with you, lads, I'm not down there to make
What
friends.
is that, John? What do you want to achieve?
I suppose it has to be promotion anyway, straight away, Nicky.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you all our objectives, like what we want to do. But,
no, we wouldn't expect it this early in the year anyway.
But I suppose the minimum for us has to be promotion. I know Aidan disagreed with that with his predictions when I look at the last part of the podcast. But anyway, look, everyone's entitled to their opinion. But no, for me, going down there when the lads kind of dropped out of the Premier last year, and their heart and soul is set in going back up.
Yeah.
So that has to be number one. And I suppose if you can try and win a title along the way, brilliant. We'd like to get a good run in the cup as well. But look, we know what we need to do ourselves, and but we've a bit of work to do. We have, like, the lads. I'm only in the door. The lads are only getting used to me. I'm getting used to them. I'm trying to get a new system in place, and time will tell. But look, we'll take on nicely, hopefully, when we get everyone back, and we'll see how it goes.
All right, thanks for that, John, and I'm glad I gave you an extra bit of motivation to get the boys back up to the Premier. So look,
no, I'm gonna put your one up in the dressing room, like what you said your top three is, and we'll see. Like, let the lads be motivated from that.
No matter. Look, we'll talk to you again during the season. So all the best, John.
Thanks, John. Talk to you during the year.
Keep up the good work. Love the podcast, lads.
Right,
cheers, John. Thanks.
Cheers.
So, now we have a piece from Sean Duffy of Ross Celtic with our sponsors, 4-Star Pizzas of Division 1.
This is Sean Duffy taking on Division 1 4-Star Pizza Challenge on behalf of Ross Celtic. I'd like to thank our sponsors Ian Darby of Vidoc Electrical, Paddy Kinsa, PK Carpentry, Ricky Fox, Key Street Barbers, and Mick Butler Scaffolding.
One of them fell already, bud. Yes, Shawnee. Yes, that's her. Now we're moving. Top in, top right. What? Yes. It's the only one you're getting now. Finish. Oh. That's her. Yes. Shawnee.
Take that one.
I think we seen that. I think there was 24 attempts there by Sean. I think you said earlier you do it in five balls.
No, and you said that. I told you I wouldn't even reach the goal. But look, it's fair play to the Ross lads, and hopefully we can get around the grounds and do things like that. The Sean and the lads bought into it, and it's something that hopefully we can get around, as I said, to the clubs, and they buy in and they go ahead and do it. And look, sure, it's all just about promoting.
Yeah, just thanks again to 4 Star Pizza for sponsoring Division 1. I think now we have Rossler Rangers manager Aaron Keogh on the line. How are you, Aaron? How are you?
Not a bad lad yourself.
Sure. Living the dream here. You?
Same yourself.
So yeah.
How are you, Aaron?
Are you happy with the result on Sunday after a difficult season last year?
Yeah, to be honest with you, delighted with it because, as you said, like we had such a tough year last year, worst season we've ever had. And I think there was probably 4 or 5 games last year where we were in that same situation as we were in on Sunday, and we had a chance to pick up a point, and we let it go. And I was delighted that we kind of showed good character to fight back with 10 men, especially for the last 20 minutes, to fight back and get a couple of chances and eventually get the penalty to get the equaliser. So it's good to get the monkey off our back early after last season, to pick up a point,
Yeah, you're still player manager, Aaron, are you, this year? You're still double jobbing?
Yeah, still double job. I'm trying to double job anyway.
Yeah.
But look, it's tough enough old job, but like I said, there was no one there to do it last year, so I was never going to not step in and keep the thing going, and hopefully we'll start getting a bit of payback from putting it in to keep it going over the next couple of years,
I know you lost a lot of players last year, Aaron, down there. It was obviously one of the big reasons why you struggled. Have you regained anybody, or was there? Have you just decided to bring through a few of the younger lads, or what's the story?
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, it's a mix of both. Conor O'Reilly there is signing back with us. Conor over college over in the UK, and he signed back with us on Sunday. He scored the 2 goals. He was captain, and he led. He led really well. Liam Flood had a great game for us. He the red card, but he gave us a bit of bite. That we might have been missing last year in the middle. A bit too much, yeah, I know. I'd say, but mixed, because a couple of lads like that who've come back. Probably one of our best players on the weekend was Luke Holman, who's 16 years old, left back. He was phenomenal, We have kind of 2 or 3 lads that are that age, that are going to be in the first team this year. So we've kind of, in my head, like last season, there was 4 or 5 kind of, let's say, missing players to get us up to a fairly good level. And we're kind of starting to blood some of them young lads through to make up for that. So hopefully we can start rebuilding, That's where we are at the minute.
Yeah, Rosslare it's a massive club, Aaron, and I suppose until last season, he's had a bad season last season, but up until that, he's been doing very well in the Premier. So last season was a bit of a blip there. So is your aim this year now to come straight back to the Premier, or is it just to make sure you don't slip any further? I
think our aim is just to steady the ship, just try to get ourselves picking up results again, and then see how we go on from there. That's all we want to do, is just get ourselves back, and like that, starting the season like that with a result is huge for us coming off the back of last. So yeah, it's just steady it up. Like, I know last year was a tough year, and a lot of people kind of will be saying, "Oh, what's going on down there?" and you're having a tough one. But in the background, like you said, and I remember Nicky mentioned it last year and one of the podcasts as well, that we have a good setup. Our underage is getting stronger and stronger every year, so we know that those players are coming through. and we know that over the last 3 or 4 years, other players that are going, we're in this transition now, and we'll probably, we'll be kind of in this for another year or two. If it takes 3, fine, but we know those players are coming, and that's what we want, that kind of system of 2 players in each age group going to first team and 3 or 4 going to seconds, and build the club up that way,
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Aaron, and all the best to yourself and Ross
No
there
worry.
for the season, and we'll be chatting to you again. Thanks, Aaron.
Nice one. Thanks a lot, lads. Cheers. Good luck.
See you then. Bye.
And
Bye-bye.
Nicky, the other results in the division, Nicky, Courtown beating North End 2-1. 2 teams that I think are going to be up near the top of that division. Good win for Courtown.
Yeah, you would expect the 2 of them to be up there. Obviously, North End, a massive club, massive numbers. Courtown's first team. They only dropped down out of the Premier. Courtown have been thereabouts in the up around the top half of the Premier League for a number of years. Lads were unlucky last year. They ended up going through 2 playoffs. Courtown did. Look, I said it earlier on in the week, or a couple of weeks ago, that we thought Courtown maybe would be strong in that division.
Yeah, and a great win for Glenbarrington out in Shelburne. Tough place to go, as you know yourself. Betting the cup there last year. 5-1 win for Barrington.
Yeah, well, according to that result, it's not. So, look at Glyn. I'm sure Shelburne will be very, very disappointed with it. I don't know, maybe they're missing guys with football. But Glyn have definitely started the league on fire so far this year. 2 wins out of 2. And, look at they maybe they're the dark horses, I don't know. But they've got off to a great start. And anybody who scores 5 goals in Shelburne must be playing well.
Yeah, and Gorey Rangers, the other second team in that division, a great 2-1 win at home to Bridge Rovers. I think another team, Gorey, are going to be up thereabouts, isn't it?
Similar to North End in club size, numbers and things like that. So it's a great achievement to have your B team fighting in Division 1. I would expect Gorey to do quite well. In fairness to Bridge, they're always one of them clubs who are difficult to play against. It's never an easy place to go down there, even though I know that game was in Gorey, but they're not the easiest side to play against. They always give everything for Bridge down there. So look, a good result for Gorey to come over 2-1, and they'll look to build on that as well. Yeah,
it's going to be an interesting and competitive division at Division 1 this year. We move on then to the Apex Division 2, and we have a clip here of the Ratnewer and Corclaw United game, where Ratnewer won 5-1.
Got off to a very good start, I think, to be honest. 2 quick goals inside 10 minutes. Shane Lawler, Stephen Riley causing a lot of front with their pace, a lot of damage with their pace up front, to be fair. Corclaw, after having a lot of the ball, just haven't been able to do a whole lot with it, I suppose. Kyle Martin, after pulling off some very good saves in goal. But look, very, very happy with the start we've had so far to the season and to this game.
Great game for the lads, first home game of the season. They're playing really well this season, division up. So I'm really delighted with the performance today. Great performance, very fast in the forwards and defended very well. So comfortable win, but I'm sure there's harder days to come. So well done to the lads.
Just finished up here today, lads. Ratnewer beat us 5-1. Very disappointed. A couple of positives though, we brought a lot of young lads in today. We're missing a lot of players, and there's 1 or 2 young lads who deserve to be in the first team now, so we've learned that out of today. We can go forward. We had a good week last week. This week we had a bad week. We learned lessons from today.
Yeah, we had a good performance. We started off well, a couple of early goals, done us good. For a keeper now, Kyle was unbelievable, made 2 great saves in the first half, kept his head in the game, and yeah, we just went on from there and took it on and got the 3 points, that's the main thing, and on to next week now, and hopefully another 3.
Hello, this is John Tobin. Just finished Ratnewer versus Corclaw United in Division 2. Very good game. Ratnewer very strong, played very well, winning out by 5 goals to 1. No incidents today. The FAI app very good. 2 managers kept up with the game. Everything went live, everything went good. Positive thinking from now on, and everything went great. This is John Tobin after Corclaw versus Ratnewer, and thank you very much.
So it was a great win for Ratnewer. Shane Lawler getting 2 goals again. He's a player I rate very highly. I keep going on about him.
You didn't know about him 2 weeks ago.
I knew about him 2 or 3 years ago. I've been trying to sign him for the last 3 years.
No way you didn't. So, I know Shane is a good chap. He's definitely a ball of speed. To be honest with you, like Rathnure only came up out of Division 3 last year, so like to be beating Carclaw 5-1 is a massive result for him. Because I actually thought Carclaw would have steadied after a couple of years dropping down. I thought they were going to come back again, but look, it goes to show Rathnure maybe be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, they have a great underage system out there. Another player that's always appearing on the scoring sheet from is young Stephen O'Reilly, so they have players that can find the net, and that helps obviously.
Oh yeah, definitely, and maybe it's helping that their hurling club is struggling a bit. Like they got relegated for the first time, so maybe a few lads now are turning their eye to the soccer, and look, there's fantastic facilities in and around the pitch, so maybe that's helping them.
Yeah, look, they're a club on the up, in fairness. Tom Brackett, a great 5-1 win to Kilkenny. I didn't expect that myself. Now that I see the two Coleman brothers on the score sheet, Richie O'Hara scoring, still playing. It's great to see him still playing.
Yeah, just Richie, he must be nearly 50 at this stage, is he? He's around a long time anyway. Like I think he retired in Galway years ago and came down here just to play, but no, Richie, in fairness to him, yeah, I tell you what, he's a nuisance on the pitch, a real nuisance, but a really good footballer and a lovely fella off the pitch. He's a wind-up merchant, but look, it's great to see him on the pitch, and it's great to see the Colemans still playing as well. Yeah,
look, Tom Brackett are only out of the Premier the last 3 or 4 years. I think they'll be looking to try to get back into Division 1 at least, want to have a good setup there.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. That'd look a good setup and a solid, small club in size. Like, you know, they've Boogie and a few of the other lads done great Trojan work down there. I know Bridget Kenny does massive work within the club there at the minute, so I'm obviously not going, I'm leaving out people there. Peter Doyle's another one that does great stuff, but look, the tough right little community there, and fair play to him.
And the next game was a battle of the two second teams. Wexford Bows playing for Celtic, but you could be forgiven for thinking this is Wexford Bows' first team, because their first team don't seem to be playing any games at the moment.
Yeah, the first team had the first 2 weeks off. I look at the way it fell nice for him. To Rydal the first week, and Camp Hyle put in for a free weekend the second weekend. So look, I'm sure Nicky Hines would have liked to have got some kind of a game, but he'll have Leinster Junior FAI now over the 2 weeks before he gets a league game. But look, Bows, they're another club that are definitely trying to progress the right way, and that was a solid win for him.
Yeah, it's a
good and a derby kind of game there.
It's good for Bows and for Celtic actually in the Premier that their second teams are playing high level in Division 2, in fairness to them, and then need to call on the players. Then Wexford Celtic, Enniscorthy United, a great win, 4-1 win for them after coming down from Division 1 last year. They'll be looking to bounce straight back up.
Yeah, look, it was a good win. It's a very good win. Bobby and them gone in there this year. They're another club that are kind of like Tom Bragg there, that are going to try and fight to get back up into that Division 1. So look, a great win for them away from home. So if you're getting on the goals, that's all you want.
Yeah, we move on to the Division 3, the TJ Murphys. Division 3, Shamrock Rovers, the Town Derby was 2-2 draw. D. Cullen with a cracker free kick in the last minute to level it for the Mine.
Yeah, I seen it. I seen the free kick on Snapchat. Well, I was there live, and it was sent to me by Jono. Jono and Dee are two good friends, and Jono wasn't.
He great commentary on it, hadn't he?
He did, yeah. But look at Shamrock Rovers. They've raced into a 2-0 lead. But look, a derby game is never over. So, and the Mine are very, very strong. The big numbers in that this year. So, yeah, look at I'd say Shamrock Rovers have been happy with they took a result, a draw probably at the start of the game. Yeah,
and I think the next result proves that the team to beat in this division is going to be Fastnet Rovers, an 8-0 win again on Scotty Town. Yeah,
Fastnet, yeah, they look strong. I know Andrew and them are trying to build there within a Scotty Town, but they won't be able to build a whole lot if they're getting hammered 8-0 every week. So they'll have to battle down the hatches next week and try and stop the goals leaking in. But look, at Fastnet are going to have tougher tests over the next couple of weeks, and even I think the Mine next week. So I'm sure they won't get 8 goals next week. It'll be a tighter, tougher game.
And then we better get this result right. Duncannon to Mun 1.
It's about time you got it right. So, yeah, look, sure. Duncannon seem to be strong as well this year. They're quite. They've dropped down through the divisions. Like, it's not that long ago they would have been in the Premier when John Flood and them were there. So, look at they've tumbled over the last decade. But from what I hear, I haven't seen much of them. But from what I hear, they're after getting a lot of players back, and seemingly they've great progress down there with the ground
the field,
and
a
things
great
like that. So, look, we'll have to try and get down there and do something this year with the show. So fair play to them.
And then Camolan Celtic, who are quietly going about their business in this division, beating St Leonard's 2-1.
Yeah, sure. Camolan, we spoke about them. The three teams out there. It's a serious effort. Yeah, look at their 2-1. Good result away to St Leonard's. I know you were questioning St Leonard's, Aidan, but there's look, I know we're not in May yet to answer all the questions.
Gus
but
Aran are still in the football.
So
Gus Aran are the football.
You're just being very negative there now. So, but no, look at Camolan. They're a good young side. Don't forget now they're in the Leinster Shield semi-final a couple of years ago. So yeah, look at they're a good club.
The final result of that game is a team that got promoted last year, flying Ballymurn 4-1. I see again Gorey Celtic. I see a man that you said his legs were gone last year, still scoring goals in a higher division in Snowy.
Well, I mentioned that he was slow. Snowy, I'll tell you himself, he was never a ball of speed. It was all in his head. So, and look at if he can get himself into the right place at the right time and the ball fall to him, there's no better man to put the ball in the back of the net. If I be honest, I thought he was going to retire last year after finishing with the Division Player of the Year, top goal scorer, man of the match in the cup final. If I was him, I'd have got out because the only way is down now after that. But no, look at Snowy's good lad. He's a big target to hit up there in the number 9 jersey. So fair play to him for going for another year. Yeah,
he knows where the net is. We move on into 3A. I suppose the first game there, Rosslare Strand back in the league, beating Corton Hibs 5-3. Looked like it was a cracker, 8 goals.
Yeah, it is. And they had Danny O'Reilly with Rosslare Strand. Danny won the Premier League with us a few years ago. And I remember the lads used to give out about I genuinely think Danny kicked the ball 20 times for us in the season, and he scored 14 goals. So he doesn't move a whole lot, but when the ball does land to him, he will definitely score a goal.
Yeah, just looking at a few of the results, I think Ross Town will be disappointed with that after such a good start last week. Bree beating them 3-0. I suppose Feathered 2 wins in a row now, 4-1 against Clonbarentown. They look like probably the team to beat in that division.
Yeah, Bree they do definitely look strong. It's their first team, so they do look strong. I just want to say shout out to the 2 Ross lads who were in the Aviva the other night. They were giving it socks for a good half an hour there until Holland scored again, and in fairness to them, they said that they were after getting well beaten that day, so fair play to them.
Is it true they asked you for a selfie?
Yeah. No.
And move on then to Division 4. Camolan Celtic's second team beating Clonbarentown 6-0. Crossabeg 6-2. A lot of goals in that division. A 3-3 draw there with Cairn and Curragh looked like to be the game of the week down in that division.
Yeah, it did. I'm not surprised that Clonbarentown were beaten 6-0 by Camolan, to be honest with you. There was a big wedding in Clonroach the weekend. All the lads were in Spain. So I'd say there was a lot of lads struggling.
And then we move on to Division 4A, sponsored by Butcher's Best. Standout game there is Campile, Enniscorthy United 4-2, and Cambridge Rovers, both 4-2 scorelines. Again, a lot of goals in the lower divisions this week.
Yeah, 100%. It's great to see Campile have a young manager there. Only 22, Jack White. He's in there with Campile. He'd be delighted to get a win, and it's great to see young lads coming in and getting involved in the managing side of things, because it's a thankless job. So fair play to him for jumping in, and if he keeps getting results like that, he might oust Brad out of a job.
Yeah, look, a big shout out to Cam United too. Look, they're pulling from a small pool and they're still driving on there. They've had a few setbacks over the years, but they're still going strong. They've been in the league now a long time. They're gone very strong on their edge again now, actually. So it's good to see them picking up a win. We'll move on then to the Division 5 Streamline Technologies. We need 3 games in it this week. 7-goal thriller at Wexford Celtic, 4 again Ratnure and Bree 6-1 again. Come on, that's 2 wins in a row for Bree in this division. They look, I think 6-0 it was last week as well, so they look like definitely the team to beat in that one. And then Adamstown beating Cora 4-0.
Yeah, Bree definitely look strong. They're doing something right out there this year. Do I know they were beaten in the were they beaten in the Billy Brown this year? So was it
The year before?
The year before, but look at they're obviously on the right road. So they're doing something right.
Yeah, another club who are very strong underage, have a lot of numbers, so they're reaping the rewards of that now.
Yeah, it's grown into a big area.
Before we finish up, Nicky, I suppose we can't go without talking. It's been a great week on the international front for soccer in Wexford with a club mate of mine, Festy, making his senior international debut, and young Calum Harlett playing again for the under-17s, wasn't it?
Yeah, the under-17s against Belgium. So look, it's been a great week for both lads. It's a pity Festy didn't get a bit more time for the Irish first team. Look, we all have opinions on it, but this ain't the place to be talking about that. But look, it's great for the two boys. Hopefully young Calum will keep his head down, keep working hard, and hopefully in a couple of years' time we'll be looking at the both of them in an Irish senior jersey, and that's any young boy's dream. But look, it's hard work, and hopefully they can both be up there one day.
Look, it's great for Wexford soccer, for the youngsters, for everyone to look out and see two fellas that are known in the county. I think Festy won an All-Ireland with the CBS as well. So has Calum, I think, last year with the CBS. So I think people can see that it can be done with a bit of hard work. And I suppose a story Kevin Lawler, our chairman, always tells us about Festy when he was over him. I remember going to a match, I think it was under 12, and other young lads, he stopped at a shop, coming back, and other young lads were going in and buying bottles of Coke, bag of head off. Festy stayed in the car and he asked him, did he want to go in and get something? And he said, no. And he had bean shoots in a tub and a bit of lettuce and a bottle of water. He was focused from that age that he was making a professional footballer and doing everything right. So
yeah, fair play to him, but that's a big dedication for a young lad.
No, he was looking from knowing him as well. All he wanted to ever do was be a professional footballer. There was nothing going to stop him. He had the drive to do it, and I was thrilled to see him getting on the field the other night, in fairness to him.
Fair play to him. Best of luck.
Yeah. Right, thanks, Nicky, and we'll be back here next week.
Good luck.
Cheers.